Hello everyone, welcome back to the Java tutorial series. In this video, we will learn about the do-while loop in Java. We'll see its syntax and how it differs from the while loop. So, what is do-while loop? A do-while loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly. So, unlike the while loop, the condition is checked after the loop body executes. So, here condition is checked after the loop body executes. So, the loop runs at least once. Since we are checking the condition after the do block, so this code will get executed once, always. Why this code will execute always once? Because we are checking condition after executing this code. So even if condition is false for the very first time, but till the condition checking, this line of code have already executed. That's why it will always execute once, no matter what the condition is. So the loop body executes at least once. So the syntax of do while is will be having do and body of the loop and while condition. So since we have two keywords do and while, we call it as do while loop. So we check the condition with the while and we execute the body of the loop with the do. So first, the statements inside the do blocks, that is the body of the loop, are executed. After that, the condition will check. If the condition is true, again the body is executed and again the condition will check. And when the condition returns false, it stops and it come out of the loops, that is exit. So this is the example of do while loop. So this is initialization. As we have seen, there are three components in each of loop, that is initialization and condition and increment. or decrement. So these three components always exist in the all three loops. So initialization is outside the do while loop, and increment is the part of body. So this is the body of the loop. Body of loop, and this is the condition. So after initialization I equals to 1, it will print the value I, that is 1. Then it will increase the value of I to 2. Now the value of I is 2. Again it will check the condition. Since 2 is less than equals to 5, again it will execute body and it will print 2, and it will increase the value of I to 3. Again it will check the condition. 3 less than equals to 5. Yes. Again it will execute the body. Again it will print the value of I, and it will increase the value of I to 4. And again it will check the condition. 4 less than equals to 5. Yes, true. Again it will execute the body, and in the body will print 4 and will increase the value of I to 5. Again it will check the condition. 5 less than equals to 5. The condition is true. Again it will execute the body. It will print the value of I 5, and it will increase the value of I to 6. Now again it will check the condition. 6 less than equals to 5, which is false. So it will come out of the loop, and the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the three components, initialization and condition and increment or decrement, is also always present in the three loops for while, do while. Only the place is getting changed. So if we are able to catch these things, you will feel that do while loop, any loop is getting easy. Understanding is easy. So we understood the flow of do while loop, that is, execute the loop body, then check the condition. If it is true, then again execute the body, or in other words, execute the body until the condition is true. So I will write here, execute the body until the condition is true. As simple as that. And when the condition is false, it will come out of the loop and will exit. So now why the question comes, why do while executes at least once? At least once. So here we have initialized, we have done the initialization. And this is do. This is do block. And this one is condition. So how the code will execute? It will first execute this line, then this line, then this line. So starting with do, it will print the line executed, will print executed. After printing, it will go for checking condition. So even if condition is failed, it has already printed, executed, and it will come out of the loop. So that's why we say in do while loop executes at least once. So output is executed even though the condition is false. The loop executes once. Let's see one example in IntelliJ. So we are looking for do while loop. Let's initialize some variable int I equals to 1, and then we'll write do let print I, and we'll increase to 1, that is I plus plus, and in the while condition we'll write I less than or equals to 5, or let's say 3. So what will be the output? So here we can see I is starting with 1 and the condition is up to 3. That means, and we have the increment operator inside body of the loop. So it will go up to 3. So I will iterate for 1, 2 and 3. So it will print 1 in the first iteration, and in the second iteration it will increase by value 1. So it will print 2, and then it will increase by value 1. It will become 3. And when the I will become 4, the condition will become false and it will come out of the loop. So output will be 1, 2 and 3. Let's verify it by running the program. So in the output we can see 1, 2 and 3. It is same as we calculated. So the loop starts by printing the value of I. After each iteration, I is incremented and the condition is checked. So let's see one more example. In this example, we'll see, let's say int I equals to 10, and let's say do out, and we print the value of I, and we'll add condition I less than 5. So what will happen in this case? We have initialized variable I with value 10. Then it will go to line number 24 and will print. So what will be the output? Let's see output. So it will go to line number 24 and it will print the value of I, that is 10. So After printing the value executed, this line is executed, and after printing value of I, that is 10, it will go for a condition check. So it will check whether the value of I is less than 5. Since the value of I, that is 10, less than 5, it will return, this condition will return false, and it will come out of the loop. So even though the condition is returning false, the code inside do block is executed once. That's why we say do while loop executes at least once. I hope it is clear from this example now. So even though the condition is false, the output is still printed once because the condition is checked after execution. So let's see the difference between for loop, while loop, and do while loop. As we have seen, the condition checking for loop and while loop is before execution. Before execution of what? Execution of body of the loop. So the condition checking happens before execution of body of the loop for loop and while loop. Whereas in do while loop, the condition checking happens after execution of body of the loop. So the key difference is do while executes at least once, even if the condition is false. So common uses for the do while loops are menu driven programs, because in menu driven programs we need to show menu at least once, and then user will give an input, and based on input further program will carry on. So user input validation is another use of do while loop, and repeating actions at least once. So these are the common uses of do while loop. So do while loops are commonly used when a task must be performed at least one time before checking whether it should continue. So let's summarize what we have learned so far. So do while loop executes at least once. Condition is checked after execution, and it is useful for menu driven programs. And we have seen how it is different from for and while loop. So we learned about the do while loop and its syntax, and we have seen the flow of execution with different examples. That's all for this video. I hope this tutorial helped you understand do while loop and loops, the concept of loops. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.